Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I am doing the indie makeup tag. I think that's what it's called, but it's an indie makeup tag. It was created by my friend Millie of Bad to the Brow, who is just fabulous. I love her so much. This is for all the indie makeup lovers out there, and as you probably well know if you're here on this channel, I am definitely one of them. So this tag is just 9 questions all about your favorite products from favorite indie brands and all of that. I don't think I need any more of an introduction, so I'm just gonna get started. What does indie mean to you in terms of handmade, private labeled, and independently owned? I don't think it necessarily has to be handmade in order for it to be indie, because I know brands like Menagerie cosmetics and stuff, like they do have factories, but they are independently owned. Indie to me just generally means independently owned, and kind of like that there's like 1 or 2 people running it, making the decisions, although I still kind of consider ColourPop an indie brand since they do own themselves as opposed to having a parent company like Estee Lauder, L'Oreal, etc. I'm not sure about the private labeled part because I really just don't like private labeled stuff. Like, I'm not a Morphe person. Like, I don't buy like the big BH Cosmetics palettes or anything like that. But I also understand that some indie brands like have those in addition to like their regular like eyeshadow palettes and stuff, so it's not something I personally like, but I'm not sure if I would use that as an excuse to call something not an indie brand, since I think it's largely just like, does it have a parent company or not? I want to zoom out a tiny bit. There we go, that's better. What are your top 3 favorite indie brands? Menagerie Cosmetics is definitely like really up there because their eyeshadow palettes are fantastic. I really love Strobe Cosmetics. They're really wonderful. I wish they would come out with like some more stuff because I'm not like, have their Creepy Cute palette and I have their old American Horror Story palettes, and I really wish they would come out with like a few more palettes soon. Like, that's something I would really like to see from them. And I really like Mazzy Cosmetics. You've seen them on my channel through like their loose pigments, loose shadows and stuff, and honestly, even just going beyond the fact that they are the easiest to work with loose shadows I've ever tried. The brand owner is just really sweet and I really just enjoy them as a brand, and they're great. Which indie brands have disappointed you and why? I really wanted to like my Darling Girl Cosmetics eyeshadows. I haven't played with them in a while, but when I first got them, I found them like a little bit more difficult to work with than I found a lot of other loose eyeshadows like the Mazzy Cosmetics and also like the Apocalyptic Beauty pigments. I really want to try them again, but my first impressions of them, like, they took a bit more work than what I usually like in a loose shadow. I was also disappointed when Menagerie like kind of made the switch between Makeup Monsters and Menagerie, not because like, I think they've definitely continued to keep up the quality of their products, but a lot of my favorite liquid lipstick shades got discontinued in that switch over, and I've been trying to find like Luna by Makeup Monsters was my all-time favorite liquid lipstick, like color formula of any kind, and I see that they have a couple shades that are kind of like a little bit darker, a little bit lighter than that shade in their new collection, but they don't really have anything that matches that shade, and that was like that's like such a holy grail shade that like I love so much that I was really disappointed to see it like go. It's a really nice, like, I call it a purple nude, so I was really disappointed about that. I think Menagerie is doing well in terms of their quality, and obviously like they're still one of my favorites and I'll keep buying from them, but I was disappointed in like the discontinuing of colors that kind of like happened when they made the switch over. Which indie brands have you not tried yet that you really want to try? I would love to try Clionadh Cosmetics because I saw so many people raving about their stained glass shadows, and holy crap, those look fantastic. I just really want to try multi-chrome shadows in general because like I feel like that is like an Alex the Alchemist experience that I need to have. It's just like a whole bunch of multi-chromes. I really want to try the nude lipsticks from Necromancy Cosmetica. I've heard really awesome things about them. Lunatic Cosmetic Labs. I haven't tried anything from them just because they're a little bit more like, I want to try their big contour book, but it's so expensive and I don't know if I get a lot of use out of it. But it looks so cool and I love the packaging of their products, even like that anatomical heart palette that they just came out with, which the colors are a little bit more neutral. This is not a good reason to buy anything, but I would buy it just for the packaging because their aesthetic just looks so incredibly cool. So yeah, if you could own an entire product collection from what brand would it be? I would really love to own all of the glitter gels from Slayfire Cosmetics. Right now I have the collection that they did this spring with Crypt Fairy, and I thought that they were really fantastic. And honestly, just like looking on their site, they have bundles that you can get of like random glitters, and I honestly am just like, okay, how many times can I buy that until I get the whole collection? Obviously, like that's not practical, and I know I objectively wouldn't use every glitter in every color, but since I like their formula so much and they do have a lot of unique glitters in there, I would really just love to have each and every one of them. Like, I do enjoy most, like 90% of the colors I think I would use, and for me, I'm not necessarily a completionist, but if something comes in a formula that I enjoy enough and it looks like I would use the majority of like the product in whatever color it comes in, I would become a completionist in that regard. Just because even when it comes to like clothing and like jeans and shoes and stuff, I'm of the mind of, well, if I like it, I should get one in every color because it's comfortable, it works really well for me. Once I figure out what works, I kind of don't tend to stray from that, you know? So that's just my thoughts. What unique product and or concept have indie companies brought to the table that big brands have not? I would say making colorful and interesting things that aren't limited edition. Most of the things that I've seen that I've really liked from mainstream brands that are like bold and colorful and have interesting color stories always end up being limited edition. And that's something that's bothered me a lot in my makeup journey. Because like, especially when you do stuff on YouTube, you really want the stuff to be permanent, so that way you're not like saying, hey, I really like this thing, but you can't get it because it was limited edition, sorry, you know. So instead, I really wish that more mainstream companies would kind of take a page out of indie brands' book and just like make those really cool and interesting and innovative things that they do create, just like pop it in their collection permanently. What are your 3 favorite products that you own from indie brands? The Distinction Brow and Lash Brow Gel is a huge favorite of mine. I use it every single day. I'm like almost out of it. The Certified Affinity 2 palette, because I love those blues and greens and they're such good quality. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. And like this look too, it took me like 10-15 minutes to even just like do this to my face because the shadows are so easy to work with and every color just kind of goes with all the other ones too, so I think they've curated that very well. And I'll go with the Menagerie Cosmetics Dragon Child palette because I friggin' love that. I love that it's all vegan. I love the mattes in it. It is just, it's such an interesting color story. I think it's great. If you could collaborate with one indie brand, which one would it be and what would you create? I would love to collaborate with Mazzy Cosmetics because I feel like they don't get enough credit on the YouTube internet world, and they've been a brand that has kind of like supported me and like followed me on social media and like supported my work kind of since the beginning, and I've really fallen in love with their products. I would love to kind of create like a curated single shadows or loose shadows set, just like in colors that I really enjoy. I would love to do like some yellows and greens and purples, like maybe kind of something in that realm because I love that kind of color combination, and I feel like they could do that really well because they do just such bright and bold and easy to work with colors. So I think that would be just super cool. Mazzy Cosmetics, call me. And lastly, what is one thing you wish indie brands did more of? I wish they would do more kind of basic products, because we see a lot of like eyeshadows, liquid lipsticks, and that's kind of it, honestly, from what I see in the indie community. I mean, I do see like blushes and highlighters, but I'm thinking things like, you know, mascaras or like base products, because like when I'm thinking about like, I would love one day to do like a full face of indie makeup, and those are kind of the areas where I would struggle a bit more. Right now I'm wearing the ColourPop mascara, which I can, as I said earlier, I consider ColourPop an indie brand, so like I could do that, but I haven't really seen a whole lot of like foundations or concealers. I know Menagerie, I think, is coming out with a concealer, or maybe they already have. I'm not entirely sure, just because I'm not necessarily in the market for that kind of stuff, but I just don't see it that often in the indie makeup community. Okay, and that is it for this video. If you want to do the indie makeup tag, you absolutely should. I'm leaving my friend Millie's channel down below and her videos, so that way you can see the original indie makeup tag. And yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me. And I'll see you on my next one. Hope you'll have a wonderful day. Bye!